Um, Hello, my name is Chad Heegaard. I'm the founder of Cheegs. We like to speak with leaders in communities, not only in businesses, but whether that be role models, leaders in their own community. We hope out of this you find um, maybe you get to laugh, maybe you find something interesting that you can use in your own life. Today, I'm really excited. I have Jackson Hein here. Jackson has been someone who I've been lucky to know for quite a while. He is an operations manager at DHI Mortgage. He is, I'm not going to brag for him, but he's moved up fast. He's been a two-time, maybe more, two-time winner of the President's Club at their company, and has moved up in their company pretty quickly. Jackson, I'll give you a chance to tell us something you want us to know about you.
Hi there. I'm Jackson Hein, as Chad mentioned. Fun fact about me: I honestly do not know where to go with this one, Chad. But
I got a question for you. If you want, if you're looking for a fun fact, all right, in the workplace, what kind of animal are you?
What kind of animal am I?
In the workplace.
In the workplace.
Yeah.
Probably like a golden retriever.
Why?
Because I'm friendly, happy-go-lucky, but I'm always there to help get the job done.
Cool. And when you get home and you take off your work clothes, are you the same? Are you the same animal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All
cool.
aspects of my life.
So you think from the office, you take that home. Do you ever have an issue separating work from your normal life?
What? They're one and the same.
That's fair. That's fair. Cool. Well, that was in terms of, I guess my next question was, it's been a pleasure getting to watch you and your evolution. I don't know everything about what you do. Can you give us an idea of what your role is in the workplace? What's your day? What's a day in the world of Jackson?
Yeah, so just logging on in the morning, answering a lot of emails. So for my role, I typically oversee a handful of loans, anywhere from 1 to 300 a month, more like mortgage loans. So people who are trying to buy new homes, working through that. And it's really just a lot of problem solving. You come into each day, it's something new. Somebody's trying to buy a home with Bitcoin they just sold, or they're selling a camel. You never know what a day in the life of a mortgage company is going to be like. So really, it could vary day to day, which is something very exciting about the job, but it can be very stressful. It's a lot of different things, moving pieces going on every single day, a lot of different personalities you have to manage. So most of my day is just spent managing the pipeline, which is just how many loans we have, closing that given month, trying to get them done as quickly as possible, and finding the most effective way to figure that out for my team and the people I work with.
And what does your team look like?
So right now we're all virtual, of course, with COVID. So everybody's working from home. I have about 13, 14 people on my team. And then I work with a handful of other branches across the country who also have originators that we partner with to get loans completed.
So you have a lot of different relationships and a lot of things that you're maintaining at all different times, it sounds like.
Yep. So there's a lot of moving pieces. My team's all over the country as well. So there's a lot going on. Yeah. Very busy time in the mortgage industry.
Cool. And you've changed positions in this company how many times? No.
Just twice. So I moved into started off at the entry position, moved into a entry level manager, and then was moved into my current role as an operations manager. And I moved out to Chicago for that.
Okay, cool. And has that been hard moving from position to position, or has it been kind of an easy transition?
It's been good. It's been challenging, rewarding, very exciting. I'm always eager to try and do more, learn more things. So it's been great, very challenging, and like I said, rewarding. So
yeah,
always trying to take on more responsibility.
Yeah, that is something I know about you. And in terms of, I would say that you might disagree, but I would say throughout the time you've become a better leader, a better manager. Was that something that you think was that natural? Was that something that you were just inherently good at, or was that something that you think you learned? And yeah.
No, I mean, I think there's something to it. I think part of it's natural, but I think for the most part, it's something you work on, read books, look at, work through experiences, and just kind of try and learn from those around you. So being exposed to more managers on a daily basis and learning from them, through experience and my own independent research definitely attributes to getting better every day. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but
no, it does. I think you have a cool, we've passed a lot of books back and forth in the day, and you got a cool strategy where you read a chapter or a part of a book, and you stop and you focus on that for the day, right? Or maybe 3 days or like a week. I think it's a cool way. You also have access to, you're managing people. So you're learning, I think every day you're learning something about, how do I deal with this person? But I think it's really cool that you read a section and you say, okay, I'm going to focus on this, and I'm going to like make this work in my workplace. So is that, how has that worked for you?
It's worked well. I mean, it's an interesting strategy. Working from home, I used to when I was commuting in, I'd listen to like a chapter of an audiobook and commute in on that. And then it was really helpful to be able to focus on that for the day, or use some of the tips or tricks that they may have mentioned in that chapter, to try and like see how it works out, see what I like about it. Maybe I just discard that it was garbage information, and I don't like it at all, so I'm not going to do that anymore. But maybe it's something that I still do each and every day. But yeah, no, it's helped me a lot. I think reading those kind of books and stuff and just trying new things as a manager or a leader is really important. I mean, you don't have to be a manager or anything like that to read a self-development book about how to interact with other people more effectively. So I think everybody could benefit from trying new things like that.
Yeah. And do you have any stories of like a time where you were commuting in and you read a certain chapter and you were like, okay, I'm going to try this, and it worked amazingly well, and you were like, whoa, that was better than I expected it to be? If you don't, that's totally fine too.
It's probably been too long for me to be able to think of anything specific.
How about any times where you've tried something that you wanted to apply from a book or something and it just did not work well at all, and you had to completely reassess? It's been a little bit.
It's been a while.
Okay. That's fair. My next question is kind of a broad one, and you can go into whatever depths you want, but we focus on leaders, people in communities. We focus on values, ethics within the workplace. For you as a leader, what makes a good leader? I mean, you've got role models, you've got people in your life, you've got people that you want to be, or want to be more like. What do those people look like?
So I think it's somebody who's empathetic and forward thinking. Somebody who can relate to you, but is trying to make. So first of all, like you got to be able to relate to somebody to be able to manage them. You have to be able to, it's not somebody else, or be a leader. You have to be empathetic and be able to kind of get on their level, understand, listen to what they have to say. And before you try and do anything, you kind of have to understand where they're coming from. And from there, you can ask, what can I do to help you out? Take their suggestions, run with those, and then try and create a plan to, make their lives better, make everybody around you's life better by streamlining processes and making it just more efficient overall. So I think like a leader is somebody who's, like I said, forward thinking and also like taking action. You can't just sit all day thinking about how to make things better, right?
Yeah.
You gotta actually do something about it. So you could be a really good planner, but if you don't do anything about it, nothing's gonna get done.
Yeah.
How about you, Chad? What would you say a leader is?
I would say you touched on a lot of it. I think, yeah, you said, being empathetic to and understanding, okay. And a lot of time, what I was going to ask actually earlier is, do you need to have does the person that is leading or managing you, do they have to have the same experience to be able, you said, to be like, I've been there, I know. Is that required, or is that just something that helps, or can you relate something else to that?
Yeah, no, I think I don't think you have to necessarily be in their shoes, and I think it's going to be few and far between when you're really able to relate directly to somebody else, like on that kind of level. The more people you interact with as a leader, it's the more diverse of a background you're going to find, and there's going to be a lot of people who, I generally work with that I can't really put myself in their shoes. It's hard for me. Well, I can put myself in their shoes, but I will have to, because I haven't personally experienced what they're going through. So, or what they went through. So it's definitely something you have to try and just be understanding of. You can't necessarily try and relate all the time, but you can try and understand and picture what they're going through. And because some of that stuff is, you're just not gonna be able to relate to some things that people are going through. So.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Do you have role models that in leadership that you've kind of tried to learn from, or people that you look up to?
There's like people like close to home, my parents, I've always looked up to them. My mom was in like business her whole life, became a manager of a company and everything like that. So I've always looked up to her. I think I've learned a lot from her. But then there's like bigger, CEOs, everybody wants to be Elon Musk, somebody like that. Maybe just like change maker, somebody who's making a bigger difference and trying to make a big impact on everything he touches.
I love that. I really like that. It's cool. When you say, I think you come off as a very driven person. You're very much, like you said life and work, there's, they're one and the same. And so what drives that drive? What are you looking for? Is it, what drives the drive for you?
Oof.
And it could be money. Like it could be money.
No, I would say it's like probably something like significance. You want to be significant in your own life. You want to see yourself as being significant, having made a difference, having impacted a lot of different people, and been able to make some good happen. So I think that's significance probably is the big one. It's like I don't want to you know, you don't want to say like leave a legacy, but I would say like trying to be the best me I can be.
Trying to be the
Well, what is
best
it?
you.
What is your saying or whatever, where it's like hell is
Yeah, that's the quote I was going to bring up. And I don't know where I heard this the first time. Elena and I have actually spoken about it too. But it's a quote that says, hell is the state of looking back at the best version of myself, knowing that I didn't, knowing that I didn't get there, right? That I didn't do
yeah.
enough, and that I fell short, and that I was capable of so much, right? Like that idea is painful, right? And we want to figure out what we're here for, and what impact we can make in a positive way with what we have. No, that's cool. I love the answers. Do you have any we pass books around all the time, so I know you are a reader. What are like, are there one or two books, and not for fun, right now we're talking like what has helped you in your life or career, whatever you want to touch on? Are there any one or two books that really stuck out?
So probably like my top two, and I feel like a lot of people are biased when it comes to like self-development books towards like the first one or two that they read, because it does make such like a changing impact on them, where those are the ones where you're going to take away the most from, because a lot of them can kind of merge together. You know, a lot of them are really telling you the same thing, but no, the first one is probably How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Yes.
And I think you've probably read both of these books. And then the other one is Extreme Ownership by, I think it's Jocko Willink.
There's that line that you used to say, and it never made any sense to me until I read it later. But you said it for a year. And the line?
It's prioritize and execute.
Yeah, prioritize and execute. No, that's a great book as well. And I think you've taken a lot more ownership. When you talk, we were talking just the other day. You had an employee that came in, and you were like, well, I got to figure out how to do it. Like it's kind of on me, I got to figure out how to make this person happy, even though it's terrible, right? Like, or this situation's not ideal, but I got to do it. It's not them. They got to do their part, but in the end, it's all me.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a big piece. It's like you can't, you kind of have to just own everything you can, and that's going to make all the difference. But yeah, that was a big one. And then I wish it had a different title, How to Win Friends and Influence People. To be honest, I think that's a great book, but it sounds like the cheesiest thing in the world.
Yeah, but it also gets right to the point, and it is one of the most powerful books of all time. As you were becoming a manager, a leader, I mean, as a business leader, you were always kind of someone who you weren't a huge follower, but from what I know of you,
thanks.
I know quite a bit. But were there times, you were also young, so I assume that made it hard. Were there times where jumping into that role became pretty difficult? Like, are there situations, any stories that were like, this is really hard, but I figured it out somehow?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I wouldn't say there was anything where I like went home and like didn't know what to do. You just kind of deal with it. There's a lot of different things you can try and like agonize over, I guess, but at the end of the day, like you just kind of have to do it. So I mean, yeah, I got into the role early on, and I was like young and managing people who are older than me, but there wasn't like a time where I thought I like doubted myself, and I think that's a big proponent of like being that leader, so it's a lot of just doing it, it's just a lot of doing the best you can, and proving like that I have people's back as like on my team and stuff like that. So it's just kind of, you do have to have like that proving yourself when you are a little bit younger, but I don't feel like I was ever like had any really rough stories where I felt like I couldn't do it, or where people were like coming after me because they didn't think I couldn't do it either. So not really, to be honest.
No, that's fair. No, that's good. That's good. The next question is, you have become a leader, and you're driven to go more. I know that you want to move up in your role, or whatever you do. What do you enjoy about being a leader? What is it fun?
Yeah, I think so. I think you get to like make the most impact. That's kind of the whole goal is just to be able to make the most change happen. So, or not even change, but the most efficient processes. You can kind of have an impact there. So, being able to streamline something and make it better, making other people's lives easier and better. Because that's really the whole goal. It's just to be able to try and make your department as successful as you can, your team, the people around you, try and make them better. So I think that's what, I think that I like it a lot. It's challenging, but that's what makes it kind of fun, is it's always different. You never know what kind of personalities you're going to deal with and what kind of circumstances you're going to run into. So always trying to like make things better is really just the driving factor. And so it's a lot of problem solving at a larger scale that makes it a lot more fulfilling and exciting. Because when you do make something better happen, it is very rewarding, and people see that. So it's good.
Cool. And
cool.
It's part of, no, I love the answer. Do you think part of what makes, is it giving what you had to your employees? Like, is it trying to build them into stronger people, stronger at their job? Is that what one of the motivating factors as well? Do you see what I'm asking? Is like, is it bettering these people?
I think so. That has something to do with it. Somebody, it's like the old teach a man to fish saying, you teach a man to fish, and the saying.
I've never heard that saying. I really haven't.
You buy a man a fish, he can eat for a day, but if you teach a man to fish, he can eat for a lifetime.
Maybe I have heard that.
So it's like, you've definitely heard it, but it's like, essentially you can do the work for people, but if you teach them to do the work, they can like be more independent, be more successful. And in turn, nobody likes to have other people have to do their work for them. So you're helping them feel more fulfilled in their everyday, by doing something like that, teaching them how to catch a fish on their own.
I like that. All right, we're going to shift a little bit away from DHI Mortgage, as interesting as it is. We're going to talk about a little bit about in your personal life, what, and we're not going to talk about is much depth, but you can actually, in your personal life, what are you passionate about? What do you do?
Well, right now, not a whole lot. I read.
You're passionate about the same amount as you were before COVID, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I read, like health, I'm a vegetarian, passionate about the environment, trying to save some trees, save some ocean critters. Um, I don't know, man. What am I passionate about? That's a tough question. I'm passionate about a lot of things.
Passionate about work, which which seems to take up a lot of your life too. And we talked about this the other day, but you just started reading, or you finished. Did you finish reading Wim Hof?
I haven't finished it, but I'm like 90% done with it. So I'm taking cold showers and doing
Perfect
some deep
example.
breathing.
He reads something and then he applies it to his life immediately. Well, cool. Is there anything else you want to touch on your things you're passionate about outside of work?
Not really. No.
Cool. So things you did mention, like you obviously want to grow, you want to keep on helping more. Are there any things that you are looking forward to in the coming couple years, few years, 10 years, whatever?
Well, aside from the growth of Cheegs, I mean, yeah, there's exciting things. I got a puppy. I'm gonna get a puppy here in a couple months.
Dude, that's something to talk about in terms of what you're passionate about. You got a dog coming. What kind of dog?
Mini Australian Shepherd.
And a name?
I haven't decided on a name. I pretty much change my mind every single day, so I can't really disclose what I'm going to name it because it's probably going to be different tomorrow. Or
are there any names that you're leaning towards?
Yeah, but I said I can't disclose it because it's going to change, dude.
All right, that's fair.
So yeah, I'm excited about that. Getting a dog. I mean, that's obviously going to be a huge change for my own life. So it'll be exciting. Won't get it until April, so hopefully there's some snow gone by then.
Yeah,
I'm passionate about not liking the snow.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Good if I lived somewhere else.
Yeah, if you lived somewhere else, not so great for us in these cold states. All right. Well, so you mentioned what you're excited about. Before we go, we are almost done with this, but I like to know, and it doesn't have, first I'm gonna say a clothing product. Are there any clothing products out there that you've tried on recently it could be the last year that you were excited about? And I'm not saying Cheegs, don't say Cheegs because you haven't tried it on yet. Actually you have, but what's any product?
Well, yeah, I don't know if I have tried a Cheegs shirt on. Mine's not here yet, Chad.
You did. You did when we were in Chicago very briefly, but it was an earlier prototype, I believe.
Well, not the final one, but yeah. If you haven't ever tried on the Lululemon ABC pants, game changer. They're like the comfiest thing in the world. I bought like one pair, wore them like every day, and now I have I'm trying to get like every single color. Barely wear any other pants. Like, can't put jeans back on.
Can I take credit for this?
Nope.
Okay, I want that.
Nope. My girlfriend has 25% off at Lululemon for being a nurse. So,
but you did not know her before you bought your first pair of pants.
Yes, I did. I got 25% off for her being a healthcare worker.
The first pair you ever bought?
Yeah. Not of pants, but of Lululemon pants.
Well, I'm glad you can. Okay. I thought I was going to be able to take more credit for it, but I'll let it go. All right. So now, last question is no limit now. Are there any products that you've tried that you've been just wowing about? Any products that you've been super excited about?
Not that I can really think of. just got some pour over coffee maker. That's pretty exciting. But no,
That is exciting.
Nothing off the top of my head. No.
Are you one of those guys who drinks a couple? Like, are you moderate, or do you drink 5-10 glasses or cups of coffee a day?
I probably have like 2 to 3 cups of coffee. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Not like
very moderate human. It's good.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, thank you, Jackson. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you giving me a little glance into your life, because I actually do think I learned something about you, and I know you pretty well. So this is great. All right. See you next time, peeps.